Thank you. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulil kareem. Last time we were discussing certain aspects of Hidaayat. Our brother Dr. Jafar had suggested that we may discuss sublution, and I had told him that whenever he is present, since he is interested, even if one is interested, then I'll start. If he is present, if he wants, we can switch over to that, because this in any case is a longer subject. This can continue. But if he likes, I may continue with Hidaayat. I don't see him here. Maybe
Well, I don't know if unless he joined online, he is not here.
he's not here. So whenever he is there, because he is, he knows science and he was interested. So today we are continuing, inshallah, with Hidaayat. Is it okay?
That's fine. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. So in order to recapitulate and to kind of connect with the last thing in the last lecture, we had reached this point that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that it's not just I created you and left you on your own, but he says that I have created you and I'm constantly in touch with you, in contact with you. I am guiding you, I am developing you, I'm advancing you. So after the creation was the next stage, that is the development. The development is continuing as human being. We are talking as human beings. And even otherwise in the universe, the development is taking place. The universe is expanding. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, La Musa'un, we are expanding it. The expansion is theory of expansion, Hubble's theory of expansion. So in this way, we find that it's not just the creation, but in the maintenance, the rububiyat, the uluhiyat and rububiyat. Both these together form the wahdaniyat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created takhliq, taswiyah, to make the things straight, and even arsh, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that he straightened it. He set it right. He put it under control. He controlled over it. He created a control over it. And when this universe was a plasma, it was a plasma, it was the soup of subparticles. Before even the creation of the particle, before the creation of atom, before the creation of particle, when it was a subparticle, plasma, liquid, like a liquid, it is the fourth state of matter. Matter is solid, liquid, gas. And the fourth state it's the first state when it was created, that is plasma. So when it was plasma, even at that time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that he had control over it. His arsh was over the ma which was created. His control was over the ma which was created. It was all under control. And
Just Shahzado, can I interrupt? Brother Jafar or Dr. Jafar just walked in, so.
Okay.
So, okay.
Last time, as you have asked me, if you are willing, if you want, we can go to the topic of evolution. But if you like, we continue with the Hidaayat, topic of Hidaayat, which we were discussing last time, as you like.
I prefer to go for the evolution if there is no objection from the
Okay.
Yeah.
we have no objections. Okay, go ahead, Justice. That restart now, because to help with the recording, restart just make the introduction.
So you want me to continue with Hidaayat or evolution?
No, he said he wanted you to go through the evolution. He wants you to go to
evolution. Okay, so
yes.
I close this slide, I go to evolution.
Okay, yes.
Okay, thank you. So I'm closing this.
Okay. And when you start again as if you're starting by saying Assalamu alaikum.
I'll start like that.
So Anis can remove that first part and start the recording.
Okay, inshallah. Allah willing. Allah may help me.
Okay, good.
رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. So now I am opening that new slide. This is sure. It's opened up. I'm sharing a screen now. Now is the new slide available? Visible human aspects of evolution.
Yes,
Is
it
it?
is.
It is
Yes.
available. Okay. So now, Allah willing, Allah may help me. I don't know. First of all, I may say I'm not a scientist. I don't know anything really. I just make an effort to collect the information for you and place before you. You may decide whatever you like. This is the one of the most controversial subjects in any religion. Most controversial. Therefore, we have to proceed very carefully. It is up to you to conduct your own research. Straight away, I will not go to evolution. First of all, I'll give you different theories about evolution. And then after that, I'll go to Darwinism. And after that, I'll go to the entire sequence of evolution from Big Bang onwards. But in the beginning, because of curiosity of some people try to jump, I just give the sequence that what is the sequence of the evolution which we understand, or at least I have tried to understand from Quran. Quran tells us, I'll just give this as an introduction very briefly. Quran tells us that Ratkan, there was everything in the universe was joined. It was together, singularity. فَفَتَقْنَاهُمَا, we peeled it off. The nearest translation which is given in the root is the peeled off. In the beginning, the scientists said that it exploded, but now they say, they have changed. The Big Bang theory has changed a lot since its beginning. Now they say that the singularity was peeled off layer by layer. As you, for example, peel off potato, you slowly, gradually, you peel off its skin. So they say that when it was peeled off, gravitons came out, gravity, electromagnetic forces came out, electrons, for example. Then weak and strong nuclear forces came out. This is how slowly it peeled off. The Ratkan for Fataknahuma. And then there is very important statement in this, along with this statement, that is, Vajal Menal Ma Kulla Shayin Hayy. Ma here has not been qualified. Which Ma? There are different kinds of liquids. Ma is liquid. And which liquid? At that stage, when this universe was created, even before the stage of gaseousness, between gas and liquid, there is fourth state of matter. Three states we know: solid, liquid, gas. And the fourth state, which was at that time when the Big Bang took place, it was the plasma of the subparticles. Subparticle before the creation of particle. And this was the Ma, Menal Ma, from such a hot thing, when the temperature was in billions of degrees, from such a thing, from this Ma, everything was created ultimately in evolution, through evolution, the biotic. So from cosmic to biotic evolution, in this ayat has been told From singularity came the cosmic material, and from the cosmic material, it evolved up to the biotic evolution, and then the emotional evolution, the social evolution, and so many other evolutions took place. So this is the theory. Now, when these subparticles were created, first time, these particles, these electrons, the positrons, the difference between electron and positron is only the difference of the direction of spin, the revolution. Otherwise, the material is the same. So there was a struggle between matter and antimatter. Ultimately, matter prevailed over antimatter, and then this type of universe in which we are living was created. Although antimatter is still available at some places in very small quantities, that the matter prevailed, the matter in which there is a specific direction of revolution within the atom. But if this revolution is changed, the direction is changed, it will become antimatter. So this matter, then when it became matter, it became share, then further evolution took place. First, the hydrogen was created, then the helium was created, then different heavy metals were created, and this was the stage when Quran refers to the stage that turab. From this turab, man was created. Because ultimately, he was in the design. He was in the Shah. As in the Ratkan for Fataknahuma, he was in the design, even in the Ma. Ma was under control. There was Arsh over the Ma. Arsh alal Ma. On that Ma also, there was control. It was fully under control, Allah's control. His Arsh, his control, his power matrix was over that water, over that Ma, that plasma. And when hydrogen, helium, these and metals, they were formed, this was the stage of turab, and then the stage of teen started when carbon was created, because that is the basis of biotic evolution. When carbon was created, when carbon became available, and then certain other materials were already created at that stage. Before that, hydrogen and oxygen, they had combined together, they formed water. And when carbon became available, and in the meantime, nitrogen and hydrogen had mixed together, there was NH. Nitrates were prepared. So with the nitrates available, with the carbon available, with the temperatures available, with the pressure available, now water was already available. Now in those given conditions, ammonia was created. From that came the stage of amino acids. And from amino acids, the stage from teen, now the stage of teen, lazibin, sticky material, chain. Lazibin means it was in a chain, sticking together, joined together. Then the chain material, that is the amino acids, who could combine in sequence. They could combine with each other and they could create a sequence. Then the amino acids were created. They could form a chain. And when they can form a chain, and when they can form a chain in sequence, it means they can create a code. A genetic code was created. And this from here, now the biotic evolution, the next stage from the cosmic to the biotic stage, the biotic evolution started, and the genetic evolution progressed further. And that ultimately brought us to the stage when from these materials, there are different stages when these materials were transformed, hammain masnoon, ancient. It took a lot of time, millions of years. Hammain was created, hammain masnoon was created, and then came the stage when these were, further sequenced, coded. This biotic evolution is going on, and then came the stage of nutfa. There are different stages in the meantime. Then came the stage of nutfa, and then it now comes the stage when the mammals start forming. Wa walidim wama walad, the stage of mammals, that besides asexual reproduction, replication, now the sexual reproduction was possible. And then within the belly, fi kabadin, within the belly, the begetter and the begotten, the mammal design of evolution started. And in that evolution, in that part of evolution, when the human being or any mammal is being evolved further, is being developed further, this is the next stage. Here I may clarify that we now should distinguish between evolution and development. Once within a mammal who was he says that there is a chat, there's a message that the slides are not moving. I'm just giving the intro. I'm not moving the slides. Because people, I said some people might jump and they say that there's no sequence. So in the beginning, I'm giving just an introduction. So in the mammal, at the stage of mammals, within the belly, fi kabadin, and this is the stage of mammals, wa walidim wa ma walad. It's not through eggs. It is not through asexual reproduction. It is not through asexual reproduction. In many cases, there is in the botany, in zoology also. But in this process, now there is a process which is basically not evolution within the belly, within the cupboard. Once the human material was selected and human being has been started forming from nutfa. From nutfa onward is the stage which is not defining the evolution, but it is defining now the medicine. In medicine, what we study, in gynecology, what we study, the gestational period during which after conception, this nutfa becomes zygote, the zygote becomes embryo, and then we find Quran tells us that it's mudghatan, mukhallaqatan, ghair mukhallaqatan, ijlatan, the fetus or the baby. One of the meanings of ijlatan is given, already given, available. Ijlatan, when it is read as ijlatan, it means parvi. Parvi means it is a baby, small baby, the fetus. And that is why I say it is nearest to the translation of fetus. It is a baby. Ijlatan means baby. That is why the baby of the cow is called ijlatan. That is also called ijlatan. It is given the lexicon already. So it means parvi, and it also means the little one. The little one. Now from this little one, the nearest translations today in this period of gestation is the baby. So after mukhallaqatan, ghair mukhallaqatan comes the stage of the baby, the small, the little one, the parvi, ijlatan. And then from that, a full baby, when developed within 9 months and 10 days, it comes out and it comes as a child. Then the next name comes as a child. Then the child comes out. So these are two different things. One is evolution. And when the mammalian stage started, within the belly, within the cupboard, fi cupboard, then that is the gestation. And this gestation has stages from nutfan, zygote, and then up to the baby when the baby is born. So kindly keep this separately. These are different stages and different aspects of science. Now, after that, we come to the evolution. Now, evolution is not one theory. There are many theories of evolution. Today, I will place before you different theories of evolution in very nutshell. They are great theories, very big theories, but in nutshell, I'll place before you. And maybe next time, inshallah, we start with Darwinism. And after that, we come to the detailed explanation that how that subparticle became hydrogen and how the hydrogen became helium, and then how the oxygen was created, and then how carbon was created, and then things we will go into details. Now, Allah may help us. I again pray God, Rabbi Shrah li Sadri wa Yassir li Amri wa Hlul Uqdatam min Lisani Yafqahu Qawli. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. There are different worldviews present today, and there are different views on evolution. These two things, particularly when we are discussing with reference to scripture and science, the worldview and the evolution, they are not separate things. Our worldview starts with Amantu billah wa malaikatihi wa kutubihi wa rusulihi. Now, in this entire context, this theory of evolution has to be seen when we see from Quran, with reference to Quran, with the word of Quran, with the original word of Quran, Quranun Arabiyyun. So our worldview is involved in understanding the evolution when we try to understand it with reference to Quran. And where we don't understand, we don't translate it just because the English theory or any English translation, something says like that. If we don't understand, we leave it. We leave it with the word of Arabic, of Quran, Arabic of Quran, and then we proceed further. And before that, I may also point out that there are limitations in understanding the nature. When we say evolution, let us first of all admit that we don't understand everything. And today, in 21st century, everything scientific in terms of gadgets or in terms of knowledge is not available so that we can fully understand it. And even at the time of Darwinism, at the time of Darwin, he said, I don't know. This is what I have collected. I've collated, I've placed it before you. You study further. It requires study. It is just the basic material for your study. There was no DNA, concept of DNA. There was no microscope. Now you have to utilize this information, develop it further. You can reject it or you can as you like. Dale Roche says in his book that there are gaps. There's a missing link. Scientists call it a missing link. There are missing links. For example, Adam was upgraded. Now they call it a missing link. How he became human being, Adam, how he became different from Homo sapien, and even as human being, how it became different from chimpanzee, when the difference in the genetic code is only 0.01%. So these are missing links. Human eye is not explained by evolution. Evolution is till today not able to explain how the human eye evolved. They generally say that perhaps this is the possibility in which human being was evolved. So there are gaps. Now this is called knowledge of limitations. We should know what are our limitations and what is the nature of limitation. And there are certain limitations which we cannot understand. We cannot understand the divine. We cannot understand the transcendent, for example. So there are limitations to knowledge of God, on nature's capabilities. Whereas the capabilities of nature, the capabilities of God, they are immense, unlimited, asmaul husna, unlimited attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He can do anything. Nature is subject to, but whatever nature has been created, I again say created, whatever nature has been created with the Big Bang, it is subject to the laws of nature. That is not outside the laws of nature. That is within the Sunnat Allah, laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is subject to Sunnat Allah. Even in sociology, in political science, in every science, everything is subject to the laws of nature. That is why nature physical sciences, and then sociology, political science, they've all been spoken, all been discussed together. There are certain critical questions before we go to understand evolution. We have to keep these in mind. I will read them because they are crucial. Some critical questions need to be answered and different phenomena need to be explained. How can development of organs of extreme perfection, kidney, liver, and complexity, they are perfect and complex, like eye, be explained by simple sequence of mutation selection steps? They cannot be explained by Darwin, by the theory of Darwin. Just by placing certain things in sequence, that the sparrow came before the crow, or things like that. We cannot, and in the genes also, and particularly mutation. We cannot explain the theory of selection through mutation, because mutation is not most of the time positive. It may be negative. So we cannot explain these things. It means there is a Shah involved. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, even you as a human being, even at the stage of development, not evolution, in mother's womb, I create you, I develop you, I shape you, I give you taswiyah, I fashion you, I am body as I want, Shah, in my intention, as it is in my intention, as it is in my design, as I want. So these things cannot be explained through mutation, through selection. These are science's limitations, and these cannot be explained by the Darwin's theory. Who designed all these systems and perfection and regulates them precisely? We cannot explain through science. Who? Hoover. These are explained only in the transcendent realm, in the divine realm, by the divine himself. When people were asking the Prophet, peace be upon him, who's your Lord, define? He didn't define till the surah came, Qul huwallahu ahad, Allahu samad. He explained, God can only be known, I'm using the word known, through the way he has himself explained. Human being cannot define God. God defined himself. Surah Ikhlas, Asmaul Husna, and so many other ayat. We can know him. We can know him through the manifestations. His manifestations are the manifestations of his attributes. And within those attributes, we can only know, try to know through a couple of words at the same time, Zahir and Batin. We cannot define God only by Zahir, and we cannot define God only by Batin. By Batin and by Zahir at the same time. He is Zahir, he is Batin. But we cannot, this is a great mistake which we are making, that we are defining God as Ghaib. Allah is not Ghaib. He says, I was not Ghaib, from the same root. Allah is not Ghaib. Allah is not Ghaib. Ghaib is also physical. Ghaib is the physical realm of existence beyond 7 colors of light. Infrared, ultraviolet, that is ghaib for us, for the naked eye, we cannot see. Ghaib is that which we cannot see, but it is there physically in other realms, in X-rays, in muons, in hadrons, in neutrinos. I can't see that. When this word was first time created, coined by Aristotle, and he wrote a book on metaphysica, beyond physics. So beyond physics is also physics, but that is beyond our naked observance of naked eye. That is also physical. Ghaib is physical, which we cannot see. But as the gadgets are becoming available, knowledge is becoming available, we are knowing things from Ghaib also. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed so many things from Ghaib and told his prophets that these are the things which I'm telling you, these are from Ghaib. which you cannot see, but they are in existence. They are written. The history of climate is written on the marjan mentioned in Surah Ar-Rahman. Millions of years of history is written. I cannot see with my eye unless I develop the gadgets and I study the changes in the climate on this planet through millions of years, which are recorded by the reefs of marjan. Unless I do that, it's a ghaib for me. Our knowledge is too little and incomplete. We cannot fight on that, and we are fighting on translations. It's too little and incomplete. Process of evolution is much more complex and flexible than simple linear mutation selection as proposed in theory of evolution. Now the theory of evolution is that it is not linear. It is like a web. Orangutans, Neanderthals, Homo erectus, hominids, Homo habilis, they all existed at the same time. And Adam was selected from this crossbreeding, and Eve was created, was selected, upgraded from this crossbreeding. These are the theories. Science is ever progressing, probe always subject to verification and refinement. Science will go on changing. No law, what we call law of science is not permanent. And law of sciences even contain constants, which we don't still know. What is the value of pi? We have assigned it. It is not what it is, we still don't know. It mainly embodies many assumptions and theories constantly under examination. All equations are not free from constants, which make the equations themselves non-constant. Laws of science are not the last word. They are not final. They can always be changed, but Quran will not change. Therefore, we should not translate Quran as the translated word of God. We should try to understand through these interpretations and translations different meanings which are available, but not away from the root of the word of Quran itself. The word of Quran itself. And then in that context of the ayat, the tartil of the ayat, and then the surah and the entire context of Quran. Now, there are certain models in which we can try to understand the evolution. One is the closed model, like Sufis, panentheism, but in scientific terms, Friedman's infinite model, pantheism, and finite model, but he ultimately rejected the infinite model himself. And he said, universe is finite, and Quran tells the universe is finite. 7 heavens only. It's not 8. 7 heavens only. Then I've already mentioned this. There are different theories. Now I come to the theories of evolution. Some of the theories. Life started, there is one theory. Now, out of those theories, the one theory tells us scientists are discussing, scientists are studying, scientists are working. I'll show you. They say that the life did not start on this planet. It did not start on this earth. Adam was not created on this earth. Life was not only Adam was not created on this earth, but he was not created, but the life was not created on this earth. And it means the water was not created on this earth. It was sent down. These are the scientists. I'm not talking from on the basis of a religion. They say this, that the life started somewhere else. This is a theory which gained credence recently. In the later part of 20th century, last century, it became more popular. And I show you, they have reasons. They discuss this, they have reasons. 2 space rocks, approximately 4.5 billion years old, they smashed into Texas and Morocco in 1998. And on this theory, the work is started on this theory. Studies found that both meteorites, which had landed in Texas and in Morocco, they had a connection. Both meteorites originated from asteroid belt between Jupiter and Mars. Science. And contained water and organic compounds. Organic compounds means it contained teen, it contained hamine, it contained hamine masnoon, it contained teen lazibin, things like that. Water and organic compounds. According to one theory, this theory is in fact older than this theory. Before this, there's another theory, and according to one theory, according to another theory, organic matter, teen, not organic material, inorganic material like Torah, teen, organic matter was delivered to Earth by meteors, perhaps as single-celled organisms. It means life. This theory also says that life did not originate on the Earth. It was sent down because water was sent down. Even iron was sent down. Iron is not the product of this planet. It cannot be produced even in the sun. It requires more heat that the iron can be produced. Or as building blocks of life, such as amino acids. They say that this cannot be the product of Earth. They have been delivered to the Earth. They have come from outside, not only Adam, but entire, even the amino acids. But the latest theory I said, which when the meteorites landed in Texas and Morocco, they say that even the basic blocks, they were delivered from outside. According to some scientists, panspermia means the organic material which is produced, it is not produced only on one planet. It is a pan production of different planets. Hypothesis. In this hypothesis, bacteria are distributed by space, dust, asteroids, or meteors arrived on Earth and sparked life. They arrived from there on Earth and sparked life. What does that mean? The universe is not closed. And now scientists say that even bacteria is traveling from space to space. They are being carried along with the ash, the meteoric ash, and so many other. There are so many theories that the life, bacteria, the genetic material, or the basic building material of life, it is not only confined to one Earth or one planet. It is panspermia hypothesis. That spermia, the life material, is spread all over the universe, on the planets, wherever the conditions of sustenance or creation or development of that spermia, of that genetic material are conducive or available. It is across the universe. Life is not only on this Earth. Scientists recently found two ancient meteorites which crashed 20 years ago containing basic building blocks of life. It's another study. According to experts, life spreads like interstellar infection, bacteria. They call it, they have just coined this word. Does not mean that it is an infection, but it means that it spreads like infection. For example, if one bacteria in a meteor, when it crashes on an alien planet, on some other planet, now it means it has brought life. And the its DNA cannot be destroyed. And when it gets the conducive conditions, the temperatures, water, other things, it starts spreading like infection. It spreads. And clusters of planets in galaxy have life forms. It's not just birth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran that I can take you to such realms or planes of existence which you don't know. I can create you, I can recreate you, I can migrate you from one planet to other, from one world to the other world. There are different worlds, galaxies, planets. And in those planets and galaxies, there is life and there are life forms, not necessarily in this human form, in different forms. For example, Hur, it is a plural, it's not singular, plural, which includes male and female, is a different type of creation of the environment, which is called Jannah. That is the creation, that is they exist in that environment. In the Daily Star, now this is very interesting news which is coming. In the Daily Star, scientists said mankind is supposedly the most highly developed species on the planet, yet surprisingly unsuited and ill-equipped for Earth's employment. Now, this theory is unequivocally, very clearly in scientific terms explaining that why Adam was not created on the earth. He came from outside. He was not created on this earth. These are the words. Why? Because they say that man is not suitable in the environment and the environment is not suitable to the man. Why? They will answer. There are reasons. As I said in the beginning, that come to Quran, come to science with open mind. There are different theories. This is one of the theories now. We have reached, I have discussed 3, 4, 5 theories. This is one of the theories. Why? Because man is easily harmed by sunlight. If he was the product which had to live here forever, he cannot be subjected, he cannot be developed and remain subjected to sunlight. For example, in Jannah, there is no sunlight. There is no life. In Surah Al-Kahf, it tells that when the sun was flipping between North and South Pole, the time was flipping. Now, two scientists, they say they have conducted research separately. Michael Young, for example, they say that if the man lives in a cave where the sonic wave, the sound wave does not reach his ear and the radiation of Vahajan from the sun does not reach him, then he will not age. The body clock, the circadian clock of body, the body clock will change. The time will change. And along with that, as we have been told, that the time was flipping, the sun was flipping between north and south, the ray. Allah has controlled every ray, beam of the sun, not only the sun as a sun, but it's every subparticle which is beaming out of it, that it did not reach those Ashab Kahf and the time changed. So this theory, and then there are so many reasons they are discussing. These are not my findings, but the scientists are discussing a strong dislike for naturally occurring food. Man is not liking. It's a question of liking in his genes, genetically, in his instincts, in the instinct of hunger, even his hunger. He does not like the naturally occurring foods. Shajaratan, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Adam, don't go near Shajaratan. Only go for the summer, for the samarat, which I've created for you. There is strong dislike in nature. So if you take something which doesn't suit you, its smell, its touch, so many things will tell you in the beginning, don't take it. Now, ridiculously high rates of chronic diseases. So these are not this environment is not suitable for man's creation when there was no doctor and clinic available. And more, I put it in the inverted commas, as it has been reported and discussed by the scientists. And then humans did not come from the earth. This is the article which you can read. As I said, these theories started gaining momentum from the last part of the 20th century. And in this first part of the this century, it still gained more momentum. I'll show you this theory. I've started with the theory, which ultimately I'm going myself to refute. There are 10 reasons. They give 10 reasons that man was not created on this earth. Not only Adam, but the man, Homo sapiens, Homo erectus, hominid. They were not created here. And as I've shown you, there are sometimes scientists who believe that even the genetic material was not created here. What I will discuss ultimately is amino acids, ammonia, and other things. They say, no, they were not created here. This is what they say. There are 10 reasons they are giving. This is the scientist who has come in the main light. Humans may not have been created from Earth. This is the title. Now, there is a phrase. Before this, there was like a proverb, like an idiom. So there was a saying that men are from Mars. Men are from Mars. This is a phrase. And women are from Venus. This is a phrase. This is not science. This is a phrase. This phrase has perhaps developed in the light of the scripture, which is edited, translated from translation to translation, and from where we have picked up that man, Adam was created somewhere else and Eve was created somewhere else, and they were dropped in Sri Lanka, or some people say they were dropped in Arafat, but they came from different planets. It is in that perspective that this phrase is very common in literature. They say men are from Mars and women are from Venus. That is why there are differences. They don't match. They are not equal. They are not the same. But the Quran says they were created from one nafs. They're equal as human beings, and they were created from one nafs. So we have to believe in this. But I'm just telling you that what is being discussed. American ecologist Dr. Ellis Silver thinks that humans did not originate from Earth, and that were beings from another world. These were the beings, not as these human beings as are existing today, but as different beings, but the basic material of human beings, they come from another world. How and why? He thinks we arrived as fully formed, complex organisms. Now, feel the difference. He's not talking of Adam, that Adam was dropped. Ellis Silver is not talking of Adam. He's talking of genetic material, that organisms, complex organisms. From the genetic material, the living organism was created and that was sent between 60,000 and 200,000 years ago. Whereas the Bible, Genesis story in the Genesis, in Torah, that is fixing the age of Adam on this earth about 5,700 years. But scientists say that it is about 10,000 years. But the history of humans is millions of years on this planet. Perhaps, he says, we interbred with Neanderthals. As I said, now they don't believe in the linear theory. They believe that as in a web, like a network, these live together and they interbred. The members of the human species, Homo erectus, Homo habilis, hominid, they were all interbreeding. So they say that when we came from outside, we perhaps interbred with Neanderthals, and we were just straight up. And from Homo erectus, we became straight. Because some of our physiology just doesn't add up. Since we came, we were not straight. We tried to straighten ourselves on the earth to make ourselves suitable to the environment of the earth. And he says that because of the physiology, we started straightening up, we started becoming straight, and we became straight. This is a theory. Neanderthals, what is Neanderthal? I may explain that. This is the starting of important aspects of theories. Neanderthals were Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens are extinct. Now they are not, Neanderthals are not there. They are extinct. They lived in Eurasia until 40,000 years ago. The type specimen Neanderthal 1, only one was found in 1856 in Niederwelle in Germany. During early 20th century, researchers depicted Neanderthals as primitive, unintelligent, and brutish. Facade. Quran says they were creating facade, they were fighting, they were shedding blood. And these are available in the history. These things are available. They were studied from this Neanderthal. And these are the references. In his book, he says, humans are not from Earth. This is the title of the book. A scientific evaluation of the evidence points out things that contradict the idea that we evolved over millions of years in our earthly environment. He refutes it. He said, no, we were not evolved here. We have been sent here to learn our lesson whilst universe zooms around. Now look at this sentence which he's using. He's influenced by the Bible, theory of the Bible, that the Adam committed sin and then he was sent down onto the earth. He's not saying that, but the verse suggests that he's influenced by the reading of the translation of the Bible. The questions are, if we evolved on this planet, he's raising questions. If we evolved on this planet, why does just standing up, it hurts us? He's raising a question. Why our vertebral column is weak? Why we develop pain? Why we have difficulty in standing up straight? Silver argues, now these are the reasons. This argues that gravity on our home planet must have been stronger. He says that we have come from a planet where the gravity was so strong that man was Homo erectus, he was kubra, he was bent down. But here, on this earth, the gravity as compared to that planet is small. That is why we are able to stand up straight. On sun and on moon, the gravity is 1/6 of the gravity of Earth. So there is different gravity on different planets. And so we were progressively growing taller in generations that we have reached this stage. Orangutans, whose skeletons have been found in Indonesia, for example, they were very dwarf, tiny, like Lilliputians. If you read that novel, Lilliputians, then they were like Lilliputians, and then they become taller and taller on this earth. They came from the other planet as orangutans, smaller, dwarf, or maybe, then causing us to have backaches. That we have backache, we have weak vertebral column because of this reason. Silver wonders about possibility that food on this planet is more nutritious than on our home planet, causing a growth spurt. He says that perhaps the food on this earth is more nutritious than the food which was available to us on other planet. For example, the stories, the descriptions of the Jannat in which Adam was placed show us that he was placed in an environment where were nutritious samarat. He was prohibited from going near only one shajaratan, the wild growth. 10 reasons which he is giving. I will not discuss this because I've consumed more time. I'll just give you the headlines. Childbirth. This is a very interesting discussion. Even he has discussed the size of the pelvis from which the child comes out and other things analyzed. One is this, that man is not developed on this earth. There are animals who give birth to the children, to their offspring, walidim mama walad, although they are developed fi kabad, in the belly when they give birth, they don't even feel, they just pass. But here It's very difficult for man because man is not the creation of this earth. This is their view, his view. Why is it such an ordeal when our biology, what is the biological purpose? He discussed that childbirth and then certain diseases, baby size, so many things. It's a book, complete book. Then number 2 is son. He is discussing in reverse order, starting from reason number 10, childbirth. Reason number 9, son. He says that the positioning of the sun is not suitable to the creation, evolution of man. Existence is different thing. We are now existing here. But evolution, so far as evolution is concerned, under this radiation, man, the human material could not have evolved. This is their scientific, according to them, the scientific explanation. Silver thinks that this is because we evolved with a much weaker sun and a planet whose sun was very weak. Or perhaps we originated on a planet with lots of clouds cover, as in Jannah. There's no sun. Humans suffer from seasonal mental disorders such as seasonal affective disorder. And this is also one of the reasons he said, if we have spent millions of years evolving on this planet, then he's raising questions. Then what about the sun? How we could do this when under this sun? Yeah, reason number 8, we look different from other creations, from other animals in the animal world. There are reasons he's discussing. And then it's very interesting discussion. It's interesting to read this book. We were too advanced. On the planet we were evolved. We were too advanced, highly advanced, more advanced than other creations. And that is why he thinks that we came with all that advancement, and here we find that we are seen as a missing link. Adam is seen as a missing link in the animal world, even in the world of Homo sapiens. That would connect us with our common ape ancestor. He says that since we are not created here, there's a missing link. We were created on another planet in a very highly advanced form. Our eye does not match the eye of the chimpanzee. Therefore, we are not created here. It's not here. And these are all explanations. Then the 6th reason is we cannot sleep. This is interesting. I may explain this if you allow me a little bit, not much. I will not take much of your time. Silver's one of the argument is that human circadian rhythm, body rhythm, human circadian rhythm is out of whack with actual day-night cycle of the earth. We are not in sync with the 24 or about 24 hour period of calendar, period of day and night of the earth. Circadian rhythm regulates sleeping and eating patterns. And then he has pointed out that Earth's day and night cycle lasts for about 24 hours. About for 24 hours. It would make sense if we were also 24. We are not 24. Human circadian rhythm is on a 25-hour cycle. Why this difference? Human beings on circadian rhythm is 25 hours a cycle of 25 hours, whereas Earth is 24. So he says that we are not evolved here, meaning that there's somebody whose mic is open. Kindly, may I request you to close? I'm just about to close it. I'm going to close. But let me finish this. It used to be thought that our circadian rhythm was a whole or off. Now these are details. I'm not going into details, but he says that our circadian rhythm is not syncing with the earth. And then there is higher gravity, as I've already mentioned. Then we don't like it here. We don't like to be on the earth all the time discussing Jannat. And we don't like the environment. We are cutting it. We are destroying it. We are pulling down the trees. We don't like it. to be here. Habitat, it's a question of habitat, he discussed it. And then rapid overpopulation, the growth of population. He says the size of the planet, if Allah has to create Adam here and proliferate here, and he has given a very limited planet, then what will happen when the population is 8 billion, 9 billion, 20 billion? It will then automatically, it has to reduce. It has to come down. So he said the rapid overpopulation also does not match the calculation of the volume or the size of the earth. These are different, very, very interesting arguments. Then prison planet. They say that this planet is like a prison, and Sufis call it a prison. That one day this will be broken, and then we will go out of this prison and we meet our God. Maybe he's influenced by the biblical, but he's not quoting Bible at any place. He's talking in scientific terms, that this is like a prison. We are here in a prison. Aristotle mentioned it in a different way. He said that he was trying to define the spirit. He thought that there are particles of spirit, and they came from some other planet. And when they came to this planet, they got entrapped here. And when they got entrapped here in a living material, then ultimately it evolved into a human being. These are theories. Then number two, so where did we come from? How did this colonization, when colonization of this earth started? And he has given the locations, the geography, discussed the planet. And then the editor who has published this book, he has given his own note in which he has discussed these things and given some reasons. And he has discussed mutation also. Evolution does not compromise, is wrong. Now, these are theories, I may again say. Then obstetrical dilemma, the birth in the beginning, the first step, that he has discussed the birth of the child, that it is not suitable on this planet. It means the pelvic size was designed for some other planet, but the man has been sent here, as they say, by punishment, that he was sent here. These are theories. I'm not, my refutation will come afterwards. This is the child dilemma, obstetrical dilemma. This is scientifically discussed. This is called obstetrical. This is not the word which has been coined today. Since so many years, it is under study and discussion. This is hypothesis, childbirth. This dilemma. And these are the references which you can see and find there. Now, next time, inshallah, Allah willing, if Allah allows, we'll discuss Darwin's theory along with this ayat. But I'll not go into details. I'll just mention a little bit of this. And after that, maybe in the next lecture or the next one, we'll come to the Big Bang. And from Big Bang, the evolution, which I stated, creation of hydrogen, helium, oxygen, nitrogen, ammonia, amino acids, genetic material, coding, nutfa, and so on and on and on. Allah willing, Allah may help us. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzat amma yasifun wa salamun ala al-mursaleen walhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.
اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه. اللهم اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك اللهم لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا واصرف عنا شر ما قضيت. تباركت ربنا وتعاليت، لك الحمد على ما قضيت. نستغفرك ربنا ونتوب إليك. اللهم ادخلنا برحمتك في عبادك الصالحين. اللهم اخرجنا من ظلمات الجهل والوهم إلى نور العلم. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. اللهم اجعلنا ممن يستمعون القول فيتبعون أحسنه. اللهم اكفنا بحلالك عن حرامك وبطاعتك عن معصيتك وفضلك عن من سواك. اللهم فضلك ورحمتك على كلمة الحق والدين. اللهم انصر الإسلام وعز المسلمين يا أكرم الأكرمين. Oh Allah, spread your mercy upon us, shower us with your blessings, increase our knowledge, grant us forgiveness, and reward us with the company of the prophets in the Firdaus al-A'la. Oh Allah, forgive our parents and all our friends and relatives who have passed away. Oh Allah, make their graves guarded from heaven and grant them the Firdaus al-A'la. Oh Allah, we have many of our friends and relatives who are sick. Oh Allah, we have our son Ma'raj and our daughter Aishawani. Oh Allah, grant to all of them full and speedy recovery. Oh Allah, we know that there is no cures, but yours, oh Allah, grant them a cures that leave no ailment or injury. Oh Allah, guide our children, protect them, and make them righteous. Oh Allah, we have many of our brethren, particularly those in Palestine, who are suffering or facing barbaric enemy, who are facing unjust world and complacent Muslim nations. Oh Allah, grant them victory, heal their trauma, protect their helpless, and fulfill their need. Oh Allah, remove their suffering and grant them peace and prosperity. Oh Allah, we ask you with every name you have elected for yourself, that none of us leave this gathering, but his pains have been relieved, his worries have been removed, his debts have been paid, his weaknesses have been concealed, his sins have been forgiven, and his needs have been fulfilled. سبحان الله وبحمده عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته. سبحان الله وبحمده عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته. سبحان الله وبحمده عدد خلقه ورضا نفسه وزنة عرشه ومداد كلماته. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على خير المرسلين. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.